All right, everyone, it's dead. It's dead. I don't know how else to tell you. The Gucci Glock market is dead, or at least it's dying. It's got cancer. It's on its way out. It's the dog. It's got one leg, like it broke its leg. It's like, okay, maybe we should just put this thing down. Like, it's the Gucci Glock market. Okay, it was to a little reminders for people who are like, what's a Gucci Glock? Well, that's a Gucci Glock, and we'll talk about it because I'm going to tell you why you don't need one. Gucci Glocks really, sort of came about. I would say the OG guys who got into the Gucci Glock space was Salient, and look, they were making awesome Glocks. They were doing match fit barrels, and they were doing awesome triggers. Still to this day, like if you can find one of those like OG Salient, tier 1 19s or something, like those are phenomenal guns. But from that, and especially given just how cool they were, and then they were getting some guns in movies and stuff like that, the Gucci Glock market started to blow up, right? So then agency came onto the scene, and then there was this guy, and then that guy, and now if you look at it today, there are an obnoxious amount of Glock companies who are doing, these $2,500 Glock builds, and I was one of them. My name's Jake, and I'm a recovering Gucci Glock owner. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like if you're that guy and you're like, I still have two of them. I understand, man. Like we've all got ghosts in the closet, okay? You've got a couple Gucci Glocks in there, and it's okay. I don't judge you. I don't blame you. It's fine. I still keep one, just so I can be a little cooler, right? But it's like, if you look at it, they're really not necessary anymore, okay? Because the thing now, right? If we break this down and we just look at how much of this shit is unnecessary, right? So that's an agency 19. And if we look at this, right, and we really start to be honest about what is necessity oriented on this and what is just pure like cool guy for the sake of cool guy stuff, right? So a stippled Glock. Yeah, you should. I would sign off on that modification. I do think that you should stipple the frame of that Glock. I do like having those, little gas pedals, accelerator cuts, whatever you want to call those things. There, it does give you a very nice ledge to work on. So, okay, cool, right on. I'll sign off on stippling, which every Gucci Glock company's going to do. They're going to do a good stipple job. Aftermarket trigger, yeah, that's something like definitely stock Glock triggers. They work. I mean, we can all say that about them. We can all say that about them. They do work. They're reliable. They're just not good. They're better, definitely better than they were even a few years back. But hey, it's still a fairly rough trigger. So yeah, you're gonna want to do a trigger. Yeah, you're gonna want to do sights. Because I don't know, maybe you like fiber optic, or you like tritium, or gold beads, or whatever the case may be. But you're gonna want something that's a steel sight, solid ledge, and everything. Let's talk about some of the other stuff going on here. So all these slide serrations, the rear, the front, and I know what you guys are thinking for the recovering Gucci Glock addicts. You're thinking like, yeah, but that's where I do my press checks. Ooh, that's where I check, make sure that round's in, check my 6, make sure there's no one back there at the 7-Eleven, right? Ooh, sexy little press check. Now, just food for thought. Would it be possible, just on like a stock Glock, to maybe just grab the rear serrations and pull that slide back like that? Yeah, you could probably do that. And you're like, yeah, but I racked the slide from those front cocking serrations. Yeah, okay, cool. Those stock Glock serrations can do the same thing. You're like, yeah, but I need the match fit barrel. First of all, understand the difference in match fit and match grade. 99% of you have match grade barrels, which is just better quality components. It's not match fit. The only company that and I'm sure there's others, and everyone can chime in the comments, but the only company that I'm aware of these days who's doing match fit barrels on Glocks is Fowler. Fowler does oversized bar stove barrels, and they match fit them, okay? I don't know of anyone else doing it. Like, that's a drop-in barrel, okay? It's a KKM, but it's a drop-in barrel for this 19, okay? You're like, yeah, but it's going to be more accurate. Look, everyone, okay, look, if you ever actually had to use this is your carry gun or something, when are you ever going to use it past 15 yards? You telling me your match fit grade barrel is really making you more accurate at 15 yards? It's not. It's not. At the range, when are you ever shooting it past 50 yards, minus very few rare exceptions? And let's be honest, your stock Glock barrel's fine at 50 yards. Honestly, really, honestly, it's fine at 50 yards. You're like, yeah, but that's got the window cuts on it, so the slide tracks faster. Yeah, you don't shoot that fast. You don't. You don't shoot that fast. You're not fucking John Wayne. Okay, you're not John. You're not John Wayne on the set of Big Jake. Great movie, by the way. And I'm not just saying that because it's my name. You're not fast enough to be able to take advantage of those window cuts. Not to mention, hey, look, you ever got a case of the belly button lint? I do. Straight up, I do, right? So you carry that thing for like the next month, and then you take it out, and you're like, man, there's all kinds of fucking belly button lint that's gotten in the goddamn window cuts and all this shit, and you're just like, that's ridiculous, right? What else? Okay, it's got a high undercut. Okay, really? You telling me a slight difference in how undercut that trigger is really making a real world difference for you? It's not. It's not. You're talking about minutia of details at that point. But I know what you're thinking. What about the magwell, right? That's going to help with your speed reloads. Yeah, in a gunfight, really? Yeah, you're doing speed reloads in a gunfight. You've been watching too many Instagram shooting videos. You've been watching Instagram shooting videos for too long. You're not in a gunfight and you're just doing this like, come on, man. This is not John Wick. This is not John Wick. Okay, that does not help me reload any faster by any significant margin. It just doesn't. Like if you can reload, if you're like taking this away makes me suck at reloading a Glock, I don't know what to tell you, man. You probably practice more reloads. So all this stuff that we like, most of it's unnecessary. So you go, so are you saying I should get a stock Glock? Well, no, Glock's actually been pretty smart lately. They've introduced the pistol now where I don't know what the sights are, so I wouldn't necessarily trust them yet, but it has better sights, but they've got the model. It's like $600 that has your front cocking serrations, which aesthetically, really, if we're being honest, aesthetically makes the gun look a lot better, which is why a lot of us like it in the first place. But if you go, look, I can go pick up that Glock for $600, okay? And I believe there's even one that has an RMR plate now, RMR plate on it. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I've seen that as a stock option these days. If you go, okay, I go get that $600 Glock, stipple it, throw in a better trigger, throw in better sights. That is $600 worth of upgrades. So now I'm at $1,200. But please don't stipple the thing yourself. Just don't, okay? I understand YouTube has videos on how to stipple a Glock. Don't. Just stop, okay? So if I was getting a new Glock right now, there's no shot in hell that I would go buy a Gucci Glock. I cannot spend $2,500 on this when for that same price, I could go buy a 2011. I could go buy that. I could go buy an Alchemy, that little carry gun from Alchemy. That's $3,000, but we're in the ballpark. Right? So I can't spend $2,500 on this. It's just not worth it. Very simply, $2,500 on a Glock is absurd. And I'm a recovering addict who can now be upfront with you and tell you that. I could not have told you that years ago. So please, everyone, just know, I'm telling you, the Gucci Glock market, kaput.